Okay.
Okay, we are live, and I'm just going to put our comments there. Oops, so we can see comments coming in. Okay,
So do we start?
we do.
Are we starting?
We officially are starting. I'm
We
going to grab my
officially are
phone.
starting. Okay.
Squeeze in here. But how are you feeling today, Olu?
I'm feeling good. How are you, my dear?
I'm always good.
Good, good, good.
Yeah,
In
I'm
case
always
you
good.
guys are wondering who is this is Shireen.
Hi.
Shireen Merritt wears many hats.
Yes.
Founder and owner of Black Print, uh, owner of this lovely studio where I film all my lives,
Thank
Perspective
you.
Studio Productions.
Yes.
And what else?
Voices and Vibes, my podcast.
Wow.
Yeah.
And mother and all that comes with it.
Yes, thank you.
So I asked Shireen to join me today so I wouldn't be by myself. So back of bit of information I should tell you guys off at the start. I'm going to be doing these monthly, and I know that the flyer that went circulated said every third Thursday. It's actually every fourth Thursday. So it's every fourth Thursday starting today, May 23rd, and after that every fourth Thursday of the month. So the fourth Thursday in July, in June, in August, and so forth and so on.
Yeah, it's like the last
It's
Thursday of
like
the
the
month.
last Thursday of the month.
That's
It's
probably the
pretty much,
easier way to
yeah,
remember it.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much that. Also the time will typically be 7 p.m. We're starting at 6 p.m. today because I have a prior engagement. I have to be somewhere at 7 p.m. today. So the live will go from 6 to 6:30 today as I take off running to go to my next engagement. But typically it will be for about 40 or 45 minutes and we'll start at 7 o'clock the last Thursday of every month. So I just want to give you guys that bit of background. So if you're wondering what the topic of discussion will be, it'll be whatever you want it to be, whatever you want to talk about, whatever falls on my heart. If you have any questions for me, you can ask me those questions during the live. You can DM me, and I'll answer as many questions as I can. If you do not want to put your business out there and you want to just kind of message me and ask me privately, I'll be more than happy to answer you privately and or on the live, but of course without giving your name. Other than that, this is a real open discussion. It's let's talk about whatever we want to talk about. Of course, you all know my heart posture. It's about prioritizing self care. It's about accountability and responsibility. It's about teaching people how to treat you or how to treat you better. And it's about waiting for what is for you. Those are the four things that I'll always be talking about and in different, perspectives and in various ways. But that's pretty much it. And because that covers so many things, it's so open to anything that you would want to discuss or any questions that you may have. So Shireen's with me this evening, just so I can put a face to the name and you all can see her and see where I'm coming to do my lives and where the studio is. And yeah, just here. So we're just gonna sit here and chat. If anybody has any questions at all, feel free to put them in the comment section. I'll be happy to answer them. Again, if you don't want your business out there, send me a DM. So, what's on your mind tonight, Miss Shireen?
Well, I want to say first of all, you look lovely in
Oh,
this orange. Like
thank
I don't even
you.
know if orange is the right name of this
I think it's a
color.
burnt orange.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yes.
say burnt orange, but
Yes.
it is gorgeous on you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. It really suits you.
Thanks. Thanks
Yeah.
you. I should hang around you more often. You're good for my ego.
I mean, when you look beautiful, you look beautiful. Oh, someone says unable to turn on video.
Unable. Okay.
Does that mean you're not able to see us?
So can you hear us, Carlene?
So I can actually check. Oh, I can check on my phone
Okay.
actually.
And is anybody else having any issues seeing or hearing us?
Let's see. I will directly
Hi,
go.
Andrea. Andrea, can you hear and see us?
Hi, Andrea. Let's see. So I think we should be okay. I'm going to search for you
Okay.
and see if I can see us on here.
Okay.
And
Yes, very well. Thank you for
oh yeah,
answering.
I can see us. We're good.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
so maybe somebody else is having, thank you,
Thanks,
Andrea.
Andrea. I
Maybe
appreciate
somebody
that.
else is having an issue just with their
Yeah, so I think
particular time.
Carly may have gone on. She'll probably try and get back on.
Mhm. Yeah,
So, well,
so
yes, thank you for that compliment. Appreciate that.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So it's been almost a month to the day. What day was it last month when you had your event?
Oh, my conference. Oh,
Yeah,
that was on, boy, it seems
20.
so far away. Saturday, April 27th.
Okay, and we're on what day is it today? The
23rd.
23rd.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
4 days shy of a month.
Yeah, can you believe you actually did that, girl?
Yes and no.
Yeah.
Yes and no. I mean, this is the first time where both things can be true.
Yeah.
So yes and no. I again, when God places something on your heart and when He helps you organize it and plan it,
Yeah.
then the answer is yes. Yes, I
Yes.
can believe we did that.
Yes.
And then, but on that day when I was standing there speaking, looking out at the sea of women that were there,
Yeah.
there is a moment where you're kind of shaking your head and going, "Wow."
So if you could describe the way you felt at the end of that day with one word, what do you think that would be?
Oh, probably grateful.
Oh, I love that.
Probably grateful. I hadn't thought about that, but probably
Yeah.
grateful.
Yeah. Could you elaborate on that?
Um, well, I should have said apologetic. I
Why?
had so many doubts going in. I wear it well on my face. Not working for you, Carlene.
You might need to log out of Facebook and log back
I
in.
think she tried that. So,
Yeah.
but you can hear. Can you hear us, Carlene?
Yeah. Or maybe it could be something with her Facebook
Oh,
because
so
I
sorry to
can
hear that.
see it. Yeah. Maybe you can go to the page after once it's recorded and it's there and then you're able to see it there.
Yeah, so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I say apologetic because of the doubts leading up to it. Even though this was, it was, like, God's hands was in it. You still have that doubt of ticket sales and people coming, and is it going to be a packed house, or it's like, and so I think the word was probably apologetic and grateful would probably
Okay.
be what I would think. But I was talking to a really dear friend of mine. Her name's Natasha. She's an executive coach, and she is a business consultant.
Okay.
Brilliant lady. I get a lot of advice, a lot of nuggets from her.
Yeah.
And I was mentioning the other day, I'm like, can you believe the conference is over? Wow, I can't believe how great it was. It was a phenomenal success. And she's like, it was, it was. She actually ended up in tears afterwards. She was so moved because she's
Yeah.
been there from the beginning of the planning and listening to me talk about just different aspects of it. And she says, but that's over with now.
Yeah. It's the
It's
next step.
over. It was great. It was amazing.
Yeah.
You set the bar really hard, but it's almost in the rear view mirror of your car
Yeah.
because you now you have to look forward. Like when we're driving, we look forward. We don't look in the
Absolutely.
back,
Yeah.
right?
Absolutely.
So whatever we pass, no matter how beautiful it is, look at that pretty house, right? So no matter how beautiful or wonderful it is, it's in the rear view mirror. You've
Yeah.
passed it, and that's the mindset I have to have about the conference. It was
Yeah.
amazing,
Yeah.
but it's over, and so now you focus on what's ahead.
Yeah. I like to, with that, I do like to reflect though.
Mm-hmm.
And as you said, you're so grateful for the experience. So I do like to reflect on being, or like when I'm in an event or when I'm in something, I would try my best to stay present in it.
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, I definitely reflect so I can understand. Well, one, we're hard on ourselves, so how can I do it better? But also just reflect on like, wow, that was really really good,
Mm-hmm.
or I'm so proud of myself. I think it's pretty amazing when you can foster an experience and you can bring people together and it's a very trusting safe space, and I really did see that at your event. I will look at it from a business aspect, so I'll look at, oh, she caught her target demographic. But it was way more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll speak to the fact that you guys thought of absolutely everything, including containers. Like I've never been to an event where they had I was like, you know, it'd be really good, a container. And then the girl beside me came with a container. So you thought of everything, but the women that were there were
Mm,
moved. Your
mm,
panelists were great, but your audience, they
mm,
were moved.
mm,
And so that, hold on to that feeling that you gave.
mm.
You've really filled people's cups. What was some of the feedback that you heard?
Just that. Just on Mother's Day, a friend of my sister who couldn't make it, and she was talking to my sister, they were wishing each other happy Mother's Day, and my sister happened to be at our house, and so I spoke to her, and she said, "So sorry I couldn't make it, but
Mhm.
just watching the videos, I can tell." She said the women there were thirsty,
Yeah.
and you were able to fill that cup for them. And her comment blew me away only because she wasn't even there.
Yeah.
She wasn't even there to actually feel
Energy.
that energy in the room. And
Yeah.
what we prayed about, what we wanted, what we fasted about was having connection, women having connection,
Mhm.
and forming a community. And when I looked out at the women as we were presenting on that day, and they were all taking notes, and there was, people were just engaged,
Very much
and
so.
they were just really, really taken in what we were saying.
Mhm.
It was just wonderful to watch. And
Yeah.
I'm happy that I also got to be a participant as the other speakers spoke, because they were phenomenal,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
And our messages just kind of flowed, although we didn't collaborate on them. So it was great. It was
Yeah.
great.
I know that the audience, the women in the audience, they were just almost taking pictures of almost every single slide. Like I took some pictures, and
Hmm.
that's such a testimony to what
Hmm.
you're putting out there, right?
Hmm.
Because it's words and things that resonate with them, messages that resonate with them that they need to hold on to, whether it's reminders or to kind of help them get them through. So I found it very admirable that every speaker could attribute that to the
Hmm.
women that were sitting there. It was really great.
Yeah, I think for me as a life coach, as I step into this arena, um, my goal, my purpose, my prayer is to always try to reach somebody.
Mhm.
And I look at the things that I say when people call me for advice or for coaching or even at the conference. And I say to myself, I'm not saying anything new.
Mhm.
I don't think they're hearing anything that I'm saying for the first time. Maybe some things, because I tend to use everyday life situations
Mm.
as examples. Like when I talk about the spilt milk
Right.
or the tight shoes.
I have to admit, I missed the beginning
You
of yours.
missed
So I missed the spilt
oh,
milk. I missed the tight shoes. I caught the
oh.
tail end. So you'll have to give that to me.
I will give that to you one
But go
day.
ahead.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that's like when things happen in my life, and the first thing you do is freak out.
Mhm.
And then I always connect it to life lessons.
Mhm.
Life lessons, like spilt milk. Why do we cry over spilt milk? It's spilled.
Yeah.
There truly isn't anything we
Nothing
can
we
do,
can do about it.
nothing except clean it up, right?
Yes.
And that sometimes we have to look at that as our life. Hi, Millicent. We have to look at that as our life lessons too.
Mhm.
Sometimes we'll make a mistake. Why are we beating ourselves up over the head over it?
Yeah.
The mistake has been made. Good, bad, ugly, indifferent, horrific.
Yeah.
It's been made. They're truly like the milk that has spilt all over the floor. There
Mhm.
truly isn't anything we can do about.
Nothing you
There's
can do about it.
nothing. If I came in here and I was upset with you for whatever reason and I
Mhm.
trashed your studio.
Girl. The insurance would be all over her, and the cameras would
Let's
have
just
caught it all.
right? Let's just say I did that.
Right.
And then I go home and I'm like, "Oh man,
Mhm.
you so overreacted. Was that necessary? Now
Yeah.
you have to pay for it. Probably going to catch a charge, blah blah blah." But at the end
She
of the
knows me so
day,
well.
I know the end result is
Yeah.
the studio has been trashed.
Mhm.
The only thing I can do now is come,
Mhm.
apologize,
Yeah.
make amends, fix it up,
Yeah.
pay for the damages, go to the Lord, ask for his forgiveness, all
Yeah.
those things. But once all that is done,
Yeah.
I got to leave it alone.
Yeah.
I can't carry it around like a baggage for days, weeks, months, years that I did this thing.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us do that. And I sitting here, hi, beautiful. That's my baby girl.
Oh, hey.
Onika is my baby girl. So I can't sit here and beat myself up for it over and over. Now I
Mhm.
sit in this chair saying that, and I do exactly that sometimes.
Right. Well, we are our
Worst,
critic,
yes.
right?
Yeah.
And I think that's really where mindset comes into play,
Yeah.
because you do need to be kind with yourself, right? But I just want to
Grace.
address something you mentioned about people hearing the message, or you're not saying something new. Sometimes it's the deliverer.
I was going to get to that. Yeah, I diverged. I went around, but that's the
Yeah.
whole point.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anything new. I'm not reinventing the wheel. That's another one. Another thing one of my friends said. Actually, one of my speakers, Rebecca, life coach herself, fulfillment and discovery coach. We're not reinventing the wheel. We're not starting from scratch and reinventing this thing that we're going to put on cars to help cars move. We're not doing that. But when we say something, it's our delivery, and I think most importantly, it's our intent. It's
Yeah.
the heart with which we say it. And I really want women to really, if nothing else, just to understand, recognize, and accept that who you are is enough.
Yeah.
Flaws and all,
Yeah.
errors, sins and all, bad decisions and all. Who you are is enough.
Yeah.
And if you've made a bad decision, if you made a wrong turn, if you took the wrong fork in the road, they're all correctable. I had a lawyer once say to me when I was freaking out over a file that I messed up on, he grabbed me by the shoulder and he said, Olu, everything is fixable.
Yeah.
Everything is fixable.
Yeah.
It was so comforting.
I feel like there's two things. Yes, it's the deliverer, but the person has to be ready to receive. Right? It's like a parent telling a child a message. You know, the reason this happens, and the child doesn't hear it because it's mom, it's dad. But when somebody else tells it to them, all of a sudden, what we've been screaming and saying to them multiple times, they got it. So that message is received when they're open and ready to receive it. But also, oh, I just kind of lost my train of thought.
Well, while you're thinking your train of thought, my
Yeah.
daughter who's on there,
Mhm.
I say that to her all the time. I will
Yeah.
tell her something over and over and over and over and over again. And it's just, And then one of her aunties, because she has, I don't know a child that has more aunties than my daughter.
Yeah.
But one of her aunties, all of which she loves, will come and they'll say, blah, 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 which is literally, when I mean literally word for word what I've been telling her.
Yeah.
And they get this, okay. And off she goes. And
Because
I'm
it was
like,
mom. She can't hear mom.
oh man. Oh man. Hi Osalita. Thank you, darling.
Hi, Asalita.
Yeah, so that happens. And I think that's for me, that's what I want to be intentional about. I want to deliver it in a way that you hear it because you can hear it and you can hear it.
Yeah.
Right. And I want you to hear the message and I want you to know that that applies to you as well.
Yeah.
It applies to me. It applies to you. It applies to you, whoever I'm talking to. And that's what I want to get across to all of my clients, anybody that comes to my workshops, my conferences, or whatever the case may be. I want for that to come across. I received so many messages afterwards. One of my favorite ones was from a friend of mine that called me.
Okay.
She said, "Yeah, I've been sitting here. What's Ottilie said? I am reminded of the word that
spoke about a prophet does not have honor in his own home.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
Isn't that something? Yeah, but I had a friend call me and she said she had been sitting there and she wanted to let me know how she felt about the conference. And she just felt like texting wasn't going to suffice.
She had to talk to you.
She had to call, she said. And she said, and while your phone was ringing, and I had said to myself, if she doesn't answer, I'm just going to leave a note, a voice message that says, please call me. She's not going to say why. She's just going to say, yeah, she said it really needed to be. So I was blown away by the comments. And there's a lot of them. There's a lot of them. I've forwarded them all to my web designer. So when my website is redesigned, it'll all be there and everybody can see. But so I'm really proud of not only myself, but my guest speakers, my MC, Angela Todd Anderson, did a phenomenal job. But I'm also really, really proud of the women who came. Because in order to receive the messages that we were given, they had to come with an open heart.
Absolutely.
They had to come ready to receive. Absolutely. And if you look out at that audience, they came ready to receive.
They absolutely did.
Right. So I think it was good all around. But as Natasha says, that's over with now. Now what?
Yeah.
Now what?
Well, you look at, what's next for you. But I think that what I take from it is the impact that you've left with these women, that they go home and they can feel it. And yes, now they're like, all right, girl, what you got going on? What's next? Right? Now you're here every last
Thursday.
Thursday of the month. I
Hmm.
had to remember what day it was. The last Thursday of the month, and they're ready to hear the
Hmm.
message or to be a part of the conversation, right? So, and what I really liked, Olu, is you actually had women of all ages in the room.
I was so hoping for that.
Hmm.
I really wanted a diverse crowd.
Yeah.
I was happy to see that. I think one of my happiest moments, honestly, was the interaction among the women. So when
Yeah.
we had our panel discussion and questions were being asked, I
Mhm.
loved how women within the group were answering questions that women were asking.
Yeah.
So we were the three of us would answer, but then somebody else would say, "Can I just
Can I add
answer?"
to that?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Loved that.
Yeah.
That's a real open discussion. That's a
Yeah.
true open discussion.
Yeah.
So what's next for those of you that want to know what next? I already have dates for the 2025 conferences.
Oh, wow.
I am a
Wow.
planner. I'm a planner.
Clearly.
So I already have the dates. The women's conference will be in April. I think it's April the 4th,
Okay.
2025.
You have the venue already?
I have a venue in mind, but I don't
Okay.
have the venue yet.
Okay.
I have to
Okay.
go and see it and see if it'll work for me.
Mhm.
And I'm also going to do a men's conference, and
Mhm.
that's going to be on June 14th, Saturday, June 14th, and that's
Okay.
the day before Father's Day. And I thought that would be the perfect
That would be a nice,
it'll
yeah,
be a
nice
Father's
gift.
Day weekend. So
Yeah.
I was driving by. We have this lovely neighbor that my daughter calls Adam Sandler. That's not the man's name, but he answers to it. Long
That's
story.
okay.
Long story, but he answers to it.
Mhm.
And so I was driving by and I saw him and he said, "I heard about the conference. It sounds like it went great. So proud of you. Good
Oh,
job." He's
wow.
like, "What's next?" And I said to him, I said, "Well, I'm going to be doing a men's one next year." And he went, I said, "I want to do it around Father's Day
Yeah.
weekend." And his face changed.
Okay.
And he went, "I must tell you, Mother's Day and Father's Day, it's really difficult for me because of the way I was raised. So I have really bad memories around those days." And I went, "Oh, I didn't even think that some people would like, they would associate it with a negative thought." I'm
Mhm.
like, "Oh, wow. I didn't think about that. Something to think about. Thank you." And he goes, "No. I'm not telling you that so you don't have it." He's like, "I'm telling you that if you did it on that weekend for someone like me, that would be great
Yeah, comforting for you.
because I can replace that negative memory with the good memory of your conference." I almost drove away in tears.
So I'm gonna say, if there's one thing we don't need, is we don't need validation. But
Mm,
isn't that validation? Like, like that's hands down,
yeah.
you know, he could use it.
He can use it, and
Yeah. And a
oh,
timely, perfect timing.
yes.
Yeah. And comforting. As you were speaking, I was getting chills because I was like, I don't know where this is
I
going.
know, me
Yeah.
neither. I just remember his face changing, and I thought,
Yeah.
"Oh, boy."
But at least he could see it already. He could
Already.
replace whatever pain he has with something more warming that you, my friend, you are doing. And yes, it's like a community because there's other people involved.
Yeah.
But I mean, it starts with an idea that you had, right?
It starts with an idea that the Lord planted on my heart because
Yeah.
as I told people at the conference, I know you missed the beginning part of mine.
Yeah.
When the Lord first told me, I was like,
Who you talking to?
"Olu behind me? Like
Yeah.
who you talking to?"
Yeah.
So when he places that on your heart, when the Lord places something on your heart, and a lady at the conference, I won't say her name, if she's on the live and she wants to speak up, she can. But a
Hmm.
lady at the conference came up to me with her phone in her hand during the first break. And she's like, "I want to show you something," she says. And she opens up her phone and she's scrolling through and she's showing me this idea that the Lord placed on her heart. The Lord gave her the title, the scriptures, the
Wait, didn't she
songs.
put up her hand and say it? Because I swear she said.
Did she say that? Oh,
I
okay.
think so. If I won't say her
I
name,
mean neither,
but
because
I
I can't
recall
remember.
somebody saying
Yeah.
that in the audience as
Yes.
well.
And
Yes.
I said, "Oh wow, what did you do with that?" She's like, "Nothing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nothing." So when the Lord, I'm looking at all of you out there, when the Lord
Mm-hmm.
places something on your heart, and if you're asking yourself or wondering,
Should
"Well, how do
I?
I know? How do I know if it's the Lord that places on my heart?" There's a feeling that you get. It's almost like a tugging
Mm-hmm. That
that
you
just
have
won't,
to
yeah,
do
yeah,
it.
it won't let go. Do it.
Yeah.
And if you're saying, "Oh my God, that's scary," do it afraid. I didn't
Yeah.
know what I was doing.
Were you afraid?
Um, because it was the Lord, I was never afraid. I was never anxious. I was never nervous.
Yeah.
Even again, my good friend Natasha, who again, executive coach, business consultant, when she said to me, I'll never forget, we were all out for dinner. The four of us were out for dinner and we're talking about the conference. And this is the early stages, like the early stages.
Mhm.
And she said to me, so you're going to get some sponsors, aren't you? And I went,
Well, you didn't even think about it, right?
I said, sponsors? And I'm like, for what? Like, the ticket sales will pay for this and that. I'm sure I'm going to have to come out of pocket for this and that.
Ooh,
And
that's
she,
faith.
right. And so she's talking. And
Mhm.
as I sit here right now, I have to be honest. And I told her this the other day. I didn't hear a word she said after sponsors.
Mhm.
Because in my mind, I'm going, what? Sponsor? How do I even do that? What does that look like?
Okay.
What do I say to people? Why would they even want to? And so the whole evening was taken up in my mind with just that.
Mm.
Something I had not thought about at all.
Yeah.
And I made that first call and the rest was history.
But I think that the best part about this is like you've done this and you're ready to go bigger. I'm not going to say bigger and better. It's going to be bigger and it's going to be greater, right? And this was the reason I'm not going to say bigger and better is because this served its purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So the next one will serve its purpose,
yes.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to do this next event. It's going to be bigger. It's going to touch all these hearts. Your reach is going to be greater, right? And now you get to look at, well, what are the things I didn't implement? And this, I think, the thought that I had that I had forgot before is like, when you get to look at what are the new things you get to implement that you didn't know about as yet, right? So sponsorship, hey, that just means a little bit less off of you. Sometimes you do it first, and then the next time you're blessed in other ways.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely. I look at it as, for me, I just always want to continue to be the vessel that God uses.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I want to continue to do.
Yeah.
And I continue to use life examples, just like the Bible is the living word. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not comparing myself to the Bible or the Holy Spirit or Jesus or God. Don't comment.
Don't come for her.
Don't come for me. Hi, Judy. Um, don't come for me. I'm not comparing myself to the Bible, but the Bible is a living word. It lives on, it breathes on. Anything that we're going through in our lives right now, we can go to the Bible for a reference. We can go to the Bible. We can find a scripture in the Bible. We're talking about this on one of my Bible study groups on Tuesday night. We can go to the Bible and find a reference for whatever we're going through to pray our way through it. I feel like my life coach business, the way I am as a life coach, the way I operate as a life coach is the same way. I'm just going to continue to use life lessons. When I speak to people, when I speak at conferences, in groups, at workshops, it's all about life lessons. It's not made up stuff. A lot of the stuff I talk about will be personal, things that I have gone through, lessons I learned by the things I went through. But I just want women to understand we're so hard on ourselves. We are our own worst critic. We do something or don't do something, and we're just so terribly hard on ourselves. And I want us to stop doing that.
But
I want us to stop
it's a
doing that.
journey though. Like
Mhm.
so first, to reference your comment about using your experiences, that's great because that's how people will relate to you,
Mhm.
right? That's how people will sometimes that's how the message resonates even better, right? Because it's like, oh, well, I get that. I'm a mom or I'm a woman or I've experienced that. Or you know, this kind of reminds me of this experience. So definitely you using your experiences allows somebody to say, "Ooh, that Olu, she spoke to me, boy," or her panel, the women that came on because the messages are being delivered, right? But when it comes to people knowing not to, or women knowing not to be so hard on themselves, one, or making mistakes and not being so hard on ourselves, one, that's a part of our journey. It doesn't define who we are, but this is what I was actually going to, we're going to grow through our mistakes. We're not perfect because if we were perfect, we'd all just, I don't know what we'd be doing if we were all perfect, but the growth comes through those mistakes. So it's not, you're right. We don't need to resonate in the mistake per se, but we need to identify, well, what did I learn from this and how do I grow from this, right? And then we can share that and somebody else can take from it as well. So there's benefits. I think they say, like, I like to say, how quick is your bounce back? Right? How quick is your bounce back after something goes
happens.
wrong? Exactly.
I tell my daughter, give yourself a time limit.
Oh, yeah. So you can be in it and then you can
You
get
can
out
be
of
in it.
it.
Yeah, you can be in it.
I
Cry,
like that.
bawl, pull out your hair, however you want to be in it,
Mm-hmm.
but give yourself a time limit. Now, depending on what the it is, the time limit could be okay. I'm gonna have an hour of bawling time and then I'm done. Or it
Yeah.
could be a day. It might take a week, whatever.
Yeah.
But give yourself a time limit to be in it, and then remove yourself from
Yeah.
it. So that's pretty much all. That's what we got from the conference. It was great. It was wonderful. It was amazing.
It
And
was.
now you take all of that, and everybody wants to know, why aren't you doing something this year? Don't you have time to do one this year? I probably do.
Mm-hmm.
Have the time to put one together, but I don't want to. I don't want to just put one together for putting it together's sake.
Sake. Mm-hmm.
I want we set the bar so high, and when I say we, I mean everybody that was involved in it in any way, shape, or form. We set the bar so incredibly high that we have to at least meet it the next time,
Yeah.
exceed it if we can. So I want to take my time and I want to do it right, and I want to give myself the time and the space for God to continue to download on me,
Mm-hmm. See,
right?
yeah.
And write all those stuff down and come together with messages. I have about 6 to 8 men that I have written down that I need to contact to ask them to be the speakers
In the
at the
next,
men's
yeah.
conference.
Mm-hmm.
I certainly won't be the speaker, but I will be there because I want to know what they're thinking. So I will
Yeah.
host it.
Yeah.
Lucky me.
Yeah.
But
But that would be fun.
oh, of course it
Yeah,
will.
that
Of
would be
course
fun.
it will. But so those are the things that are happening. We're thinking about workshops, we're thinking about retreats, we're thinking about groups. So there's a lot. Just stay tuned to all of my Facebook lives, to my postings, just to know what's happening. And or just message me. Send me a DM, send me a message. Hey, Olu, what's going on? If anybody out there feels like they need some coaching, some one-on-one coaching for a day, a week, a month, to get you through a season, reach out to me. I have packages for, just one-on-one coaching, just that one day that you need to get over the hump. I have it for, a month or longer. If there's a group of girls out there that say, you know what, let's get together and do a group coaching session with Olu. I want to hear what she thinks about this and that. Give
Yeah.
me a call. I actually see myself doing a lot of group coaching more than one-on-one.
Yeah.
I think women are sometimes, I don't know if intimidated is the right word, but they may not feel comfortable with the one-on-one,
Yeah.
but they might feel more comfortable in a
In a
group.
group.
And then you have those that like, I don't want to do a group, even though they are my good sister friends. They don't know about this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or they don't know about that.
Excuse me, sorry.
Yeah.
But
So
in a group is also good because sometimes whenever I'm in a group, even if I know the answer of something, or I'll ask a question that maybe somebody wants to know, but they might be too afraid to
mhm,
answer. So group setting is great because
mhm,
sometimes you can get information even without divulging everything that's on your mind or
yeah.
your heart, but
Mhm.
you can still get answers or you can get support. Oopsie
I was gonna
doopsie.
say
Or you can
it
get
was the
support.
support. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the
Yeah.
comfort and support
Yeah.
mainly that I
Mhm.
think works for group settings. So
Mhm.
either way, either or, call me. Um,
Okay.
sure, Azita, connect with me anytime, hun. The one-on-one is for me. I hear you,
Mhm.
hun. I hear you. So yeah, that's pretty much what I want to talk about. So all of our future lives will be more specific. I'll have topics that I want to talk about. Again, feel free to send me any questions you may have, or any topics you want to talk about. One of the things I love talking about is current events. What's happening out there in the world?
Yeah.
So if you want to talk about current events, say, "Hey, Olu, what do you think about?"
XYZ.
I'll give you my opinion. It's just my opinion.
Mhm.
Ain't worth nothing. It's just my
Yeah,
opinion.
well, I wouldn't say it's not worth
Oh,
nothing.
well,
Yeah.
yeah, well, that and $1 can get you a cup of coffee. How about that?
Yes. But also I think you need to mention if this is these lives, if they turn into podcasts, they're evergreen. So people can tap in.
Yeah,
If you miss a Thursday,
yeah.
you could always come back. Right now, if you miss today, you could always go back to the Facebook page.
Hmm.
And maybe sometimes I like to believe that when you're supposed to receive a message, that's when you hear it. So if you miss today, but you tapped in tomorrow or Saturday or next
That's
week,
when you were supposed to
that's
hear
when
it.
you were supposed to hear it. So when
Agreed.
you do things that are evergreen, your audience, the women that are gravitating towards you, they will hear that message and it will be right on time for them.
Thank you for that. Well, that just a perfect segue into me saying we will be doing a podcast.
Did I put the pressure out there?
No.
She was like, I wasn't doing a podcast, but now I'm doing a podcast.
We are doing a podcast. We are working on that
Mhm.
and a YouTube channel, so that will all be coming. But before I go, because I do have to run to my next engagement, before I
Mhm.
go, Harvest Restaurant
Oh.
unfortunately has permanently closed. I, for one, am absolutely devastated. Devastated. However, one of the prizes that were won at the conference was a gift certificate to Harvest Restaurant. One of the talking about the conference and perfecting it and working on things that we can improve upon. That's one of the things I need to improve upon for the next conference. I didn't. I wasn't mindful about taking down the names of the people who won the prizes, so I'm not able to go to that person and contact them. So if you're listening and you won the Harvest gift certificate, please reach out to me. If somebody that is listening knows who won
Remembers.
it,
Yeah, who won?
please reach out to them and tell them to contact me. I would love to replace that with another gift certificate. Because I think that's only fair. You did win a prize, so you should be able to enjoy that prize. Um, but yeah, as for Harvest, devastating.
Yeah, it's
Devastating. It was a good restaurant. And I know they went through some challenges during the pandemic. Everybody did,
A
but
lot
they
of
were
us
really working their way back from that. So that was really hard to hear. So
Yeah.
in any event, thank you all for joining tonight. Thank you, Shireen.
Thank
This
you
was
for
like
having
cool,
me.
just kind of
Thank you.
hanging out and chatting. I liked
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I'll see you guys again. You know what? I didn't prepare myself for the date. What is the date in June?
It's okay. You're going to post it on your
I
Facebook.
will.
Okay, she still wants me to get it for her. I'll get it for her.
Yes.
So the date
It'll
in
be
June
June
will be the
20th.
27th.
Is that the 4th?
That's
Wow.
yeah, that's the last
So
Thursday
then
of
my
the month.
next live will be on Thursday, June 27th at 7 p.m. You're very welcome, Solita. Thank you for joining us. Thursday, June 27th at 7 p.m. If you have anything that you want to talk about, let me know. You have any questions, let me know. Any topics, let me know. June 27th. Thanks, baby girl. And also, let me know if you would like me to do these more frequently. If you would prefer every 2 weeks as opposed to every fourth Thursday. Let me know what your preference is. I am open to it all. Thank you all. Have a blessed evening. Thank you for joining me. Until I see you all again on June 27th.
Take care,
Bye.
everyone. Bye. Now we'll just navigate us to end this.